Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another video. We are putting in the wheat here. Bit of a late start. Working out some kinks, but we got some nice lights. They're new lights that we put on our tractor, so we're really getting to test them out. And yeah, I know, so far so good as far as the lights go, and mostly with the seating. We had all that calibration filling, as you saw there, to do and everything. So now we're going. The issue is all these towers you see, one tower, all 4 towers. The issue is in the P's there was some crap, some straw pods that got in, very little, but still, if you get any in there, it can really harm the system. And that's exactly what happened. Is the hoses weren't plugged, and I check those hoses every time I fill up. The hoses weren't plugged. The big hoses in the back, right in the middle, they weren't plugged either. But inside those towers, it was plugged. We had multiple runs plugged, so I had to take those towers off, or take the tops off, which just takes a good amount of time to take them all off and go through. But I'm glad I did, because I unblocked and unplugged quite a few lines that we noticed. So now we should theoretically be all good. Aside from that, it's been so far so good. In this field, we got 20 acres just over. I would have done a pass extra. So yeah, about 20 acres done. I double passed that very first one I did, just because we had those misses, and then I had an issue with setting up the GPS, so it kind of left a little miss. So I wanted to do a good job, so I kind of double passed. So technically I've seeded 24, but it's 20 acres, but because I double passed, and it's 4 acres per pass, or 2 acres actually, only 2 acres over. Sorry, so 22 acres. We should be able to do about 50 acres per tank here, so I'm gonna drill out this tank tonight, and then yeah, then we should be styling. At least it'll be a good head start for tomorrow. Tomorrow should hopefully be a good full day, providing no breakdowns. So just stop out here to do some checks, make sure everything's all right. That's not supposed to be there. Stuff like this stuff, that's not supposed to be there. I don't know, at night it's hard to see like perfectly. The lights do pretty good, but definitely still want to check stuff out. So I'm gonna go through this in the woods. So another thing I noticed, because earlier I did it, I'll have to tighten it up, but this gear here is just slacking off a little bit, or it has slacked off a little bit, so it needs of taps just to move on the shaft a bit. Put it back in line. I'll have to tighten that down. Again, there's a keyway in there. I'll have to tighten the keyway. I just noticed no issue right now, but there could be in the future. So everything looks good. I just checked my big lines. My small lines I haven't, but I might do a little lap and check, make sure they look good. But tractor looks good. I got my light on my phone, so I might mess it up a little bit, but pretty much it. Sometimes you get some excitement. There's a ditch here, you know. Well, I ran
trying now to see it at the other end of the field. I was looking at my acre counter. I thought I'd have a bit more, but it might have just not been quite plump full maybe. I thought I have a little bit more acres, but maybe that was off a little bit. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm having to go back. I'm just booting back to the truck right now, and then it's like 12:30, 1 o'clock or something in the morning. So I'm definitely calling it a night, and then I'll take it again in the morning. Fill up, grease. Got to fill the tractor up, fill the drill up, grease everything, and away we'll go. So yeah, so I will see you guys in the morning. Good morning. We're back at her in the field again, and looks beautiful. Looks beautiful out there. Love the way it looks. So we got 16.9 according to that acres done. It's probably a little bit more, not exact, but that's how many acres I've used GPS for anyways. So it's probably right at 70, I guess. Probably not too far off. So, and yeah, we're just going along here smoothly, 4.7 miles an hour roughly, and putting in the crop. This is it. Up and back, so you can tell where our low sloughs are. It's where it's all wet. But as far as conditions are, it's dry on top, but below, as you can see back there, maybe you can't. I don't know how well the camera picks it up, and the window's dirty, but it probably could be a little bit more moist out, but we're still seeding into some fairly good moisture anyways. And the top's dry, and we might get a little bit of rain today. I guess we'll see. We got a couple of spits here the other day. That was about it. So it might just be cloudy today. That's kind of what they're calling for, is it just to be cloudy. But got dust on my tractor, a bunch of dust. That's what means it's working. This field is a mile long and a half mile wide, so it's a half section, and a really nice, compared to the half mile by half mile quarter to seed on. To be able to go 1 mile straight is a lot nicer anyways. There's a lot more field, way less turning. It's more efficient. It's nice. It's nice just to do these nice long rows. So it's this is the nicest part. Now that we got that short one out, the next field as well, it's also a mile long. So again, it'll be really nice. We have some leases, some oil wells here, or gas wells, oil and gas. This one's gas, but right there, and so that takes up some land. It also shortens our runway a little bit. There's one at the other end too, where we have our trucks parked. There's one right here. I don't know if you can see it there. I can't really see my camera very well, but there's one right there anyways. So there's three on this piece. Gonna be 2 soon. They're getting rid of that one, so we're gonna be down to 2. They don't produce at any of these anymore right now, at least for the last couple of years. They haven't. That one's the other end, that one's oil. These other 2 have produced gas, and they were producing fine. The oil companies that were using them just did not do very well financially in other departments, so then they just start shutting stuff down, and now that's what's going on with that one, is they're going into bankruptcy, so they are shutting that one all down. So that buzzer is my front bin. It's saying that it's done for that it's empty, but that's why it's nice to have the camera. I can tell I still have more wheat left, so I gotta keep a close eye on that. The sensor, I don't know why, but the sensor's been acting a little funny. Same with this back sensor. So far it's been fine, but I don't know. They have their issues. Electronics, they have their issues, so sometimes it's, but you know what? To solve electronics, we have other electronics, some cameras, so it's a pretty nice setup that we got now, in my opinion anyways. A lot better than, a lot more modern, I guess, than a couple of years ago, which is nothing wrong with what we had a couple of years ago. But yeah, having the guidance, the auto steer is really nice, just for fatigue and for having nice straight rows. It's really, really nice. So, and you know what? We don't have anything super fancy, but we're still 1 inch, 2 inch, back down to 0. Like it's still pretty good guidance. I'm not complaining at that at all. You know what? It gets it pretty dang straighter than I could ever put it, and we're not wasting too much. Our overlap, I have a little bit of overlap. It's not too crazy, but it's still straight rows. Now I could pay for a subscription on this. This is the thing. So I could pay for a subscription to get way better. I say way better, but yeah, better guidance on there where it holds basically like sub 1 inch. So it's basically perfect the whole way across the field, 0. But it's like, you gotta pay so much for that. And then the memory's a little better. Like when I go to the truck to fill and then come back, sometimes my line's a little off. So I reset my line and then go. But you know what, for us, for such a small operation, like it's not worth spending 1,600 Canadian dollars on 1 year of subscription. 1 year, that's it. That's all you get. 1 year of subscription to fix that little problems. Like, yeah, it holds the line a little better, but I don't really have an issue because we're going pretty dang straight anyways, like I mentioned. And then I don't have an issue with setting it over for $1,600. I will gladly set my line over. So, and we already paid for all this. Like, we paid for that. There's a computer down there. We paid for this motor. Like, we paid for that, and yet we still have to get a subscription on top of that. And I think that's very characteristic of a lot of GPS systems and how they continue to make their money after a sale, right? Like, otherwise, yeah. So. With this pass, this finishes up 160 acres this quarter here. It's all done now. Oh, we're still cruising around here, like I said, up and down the field. So far, we're getting through this piece. Half section here pretty good. We're getting further away from those trees, which is good. It's a little bit dusty, but plenty of moisture down there, so it's still looking really good. Still looks really good. At a couple areas where it was washed out, I went over with the harrows, but it's 350 horsepower, but it pulls it down. Only 37 feet of drill. It's not even that big of a drill, but it still pulls it down. Our Massey, well, as you know, our Massey pulled this drill, but and it lugged down a good amount when it got into some tougher areas. But you know what? It pulled through. That Massey of ours pulls real hard. So, not to say this one doesn't. I mean, we haven't really put it to the test. This drill, it does all right. The harrows, they do okay, like for power. But for power consumption, this drill takes more than the harrows. But I mean, really, it's not that
that much compared to what this tractor should be able to handle. Now, we did get this tractor last year. It was a really good deal. And yeah, like it was just a really good deal. It's 100 horsepower more than our Massey, or pretty close to anyways, 90 horsepower more. It's just the tires are aggressive, which we like. It's just a little bit more modern, which is okay. There's nothing wrong. We don't mind the Massey at all, actually. We love the Massey. That's why we kept it. We're not getting rid of our Massey because we love it. It still does great work. It has a PTO. This one does not have a PTO. This one now, it had 6,804 hours when we bought it. Now it's got 6,856 on there. So yeah, it's not too high of an hour. It's not low hour. It's kind of the middle of the pack. It's got more hydraulics than our Massey, which was a big thing for us, because our drill runs off of the ground. That wheel right there turns the shaft, which turns our fan at the back to push our product out. And on the new drills, it's all hydraulically ran. They just run a hydraulic fan that pushes your product, so it doesn't matter how slow or fast you're going. So we would like to upgrade to a hydraulic fan. This one is very simple and it works great. The only issue is well, then you have to go that speed when seating. Sometimes you want to seat a little bit slower, it would be nice, you know, whatever, or fluctuate your speed. Or when you're going around corners or whatever it is, it would be nice to be able to do that without affecting your fan speed. So that's the one downside. Also, checking your runs. You can turn your hydraulic fan on, have your drill lifted up, and turn your meters on, and you can check underneath every single one to make sure that you're getting seed. For us, I go and I wiggle all those hoses to make sure there's no seed in them. The big hoses, wiggle and make sure there's no seed in them. And then also lift the drill up, and then while I'm moving, in order to get that fan going, and I turn it on and I look at every single one to try and see some seed or fertilizer out of them. But even that, it gets hard because there's 44 openers here and you're moving along and small seed. It's hard to miss one, right? Whereas that other one, you make sure that every single one goes. Like the peas, for example, or at the end of our peas, we dug down and there was a plugged run. We opened up the towers. Well, yeah, it was plugged inside the towers. Well, we wouldn't have known that otherwise. It was a good thing that we dug down and we cleared all of our towers. So yeah, it would be a nice that would be a nice upgrade in this tractor. It doesn't have a lot of hydraulics, but it has a little bit more than our Massey. Our Massey does not have much for hydraulics. I cannot remember the numbers off the top of my head, so I'm not gonna lie because I can't remember. It's somewhere around. This one has, I think it's like 35 or 40 or something. Our Massey has. I'll put it on the screen what this one has, and also what our Massey has for a comparison. So that's that number there, wherever it is what the hydraulics are. Now the new tractors, they run 55 gallons a minute per pump. They have 2 pumps typically, and they run it's 110 plus gallons per minute. It's crazy. It might even be higher than that. They run a lot. But also, again, they're designed for these drills. They don't want that to be a bottleneck or an issue. They want to make sure they have plenty of hydraulics to run any function you would desire on these drills. You get independent openers, and it uses hydraulics to push downforce on them. That takes power. The fans, everything, steering, moving the tractor, that all takes stuff. Lifting the drill up, it all takes hydraulics. And on those big drills, 100-foot drills, that's a lot. So this baby drill here, 37 feet, it's been real good for us so far. We would like to upgrade. Probably we're looking in the realm of 50 feet, just shy of 50 feet. So yeah, I just got a ditch here, so I'm gonna cross this ditch. I need me a second. There. We have a fair-sized ditch that runs through here. It runs from over there back behind me to the trees, and there's a culvert out by the trees. This ditch was here, was dug before we got the land, and then we kind of changed it a little bit and had to do some sloping. This was sloped compared to what it was before, so we can go through it. We go through it with our drills. We don't go through it with combines. We just cut around it and then go. There's some shallow areas, you know, because it's hard on equipment to be going through stuff like that with the weight and twisting and everything. This tractor articulates, so it can flex a lot more. The drill, it's a small drill. It flexes a lot. The cart falls right behind the tractor, and it's not bad. It's probably not the best for the cart, but we just go, you know, we take it easy and it kind of goes. But yeah, we got a ditch here. We got a ditch on the other side. Like, this is kind of how we drain our land, I guess.
If you're not from around here, or an area that drains their land with ditches, then I guess that's something different. I know there's many areas in the world that use drain tile for land. I don't know of anybody around here who's ever used drain tile. I honestly don't know if it would work in the land. I don't know, because no one really uses it at all. So I really don't know when it comes to that. I just know that our drainage, we use ditching and sloping of areas to try and empty out sloughs and whatever else around here, and that's what works best. So typically we want smaller ditches than that. That one's a pretty big ditch. We would like to make it smaller, or at least more shallow, and it'll still carry the water, but it's over time. We'll see. Same with that other one, you know, cut the banks down again so it's easier for equipment to move. But yeah, anyways, if you're curious, that's how we drain our land. Overall, our land is pretty flat, as you see, compared to a lot of areas. And
alrighty, Roo, I got the Mac all fired up. It's just about empty on fertilizer, plus it's my vehicle to get back. There's no other vehicles, so that's how I'm getting back to the yard. But it's also, we'll need to top it up for fertilizer. This guy, I was just letting him cool down. I could disconnect some stuff on the battery here. Sparky. There we go. That way it's not draining down our battery overnight. We don't have a battery disconnect on this one. I would like to add it. It's just so difficult because there's so many big battery cables that come off, so it's just tight. So now that's all shut down. Good to go. There we go. There's another day done. So we got 210 acres knocked out, and yeah, she's looking good. A little dusty, but yeah. There. So we're greasing the drill. We do this every morning. Just grease guns out of grease, and it just goes. It gets so messy. That's why I don't record it, because hands are just loaded full of grease, and you need one hand to pull the trigger, and then one hand to put it on the grease nipple. We got this electric grease gun a couple years back. Oh, it's been amazing compared to the manual grease guns. We still have the manual grease guns, but it's very nice. So I'm gonna change this tube of grease and then finish basically any bearing and stuff on this cart. So the wheels, all the rollers and stuff, and every set of packer has grease nipples all the way along. So I gotta do those, and then I do the tractor as well, a little bit on the articulation points of the tractor, and then this is all serviced. So then we can get filling and get going another day. It's a nice day. At least it's fairly calm so far, which is nice because it's been so windy the last few days. Now, as I say that, the wind will probably pick up, but and overcast, but that's okay. It keeps it a little bit cooler in the cab, but hopefully once we get this seeded, we'll get some nice warm days to really encourage that growth. All right, so we're back at the yard here. We're going to load up the semi with wheat because we need more seed wheat. And this is the hopper that we put our clean wheat into. So yeah, we're just gonna load this up and then we can go back to loading the drill. We're back on another day in the wheat again, seeding away. Did a couple acres today, about 20 acres so far today. And just wanted to show you guys, this is the difference between not spraying and spraying. Now, we didn't even spray this in the fall. We didn't spray this in the spring. We would like to, but we didn't. This is in crop, the difference between last year when we sprayed in crop and there was a miss here. That's the difference. Like, it makes a difference year over year, even though it wasn't right. Like, I don't know if you get what I'm getting at. In crop, we missed the spray a whole year ago, and you still see the results today. So, very important to stay on top of weeds. Look at that. I got lunch delivered, and yeah, we keep on going. Well, that's our wheat fully done. It's the whole field, all the way across here too. And this is a headland. I did a headland, but now I'm just gonna keep going. I'm watching my wheat is almost empty. So rather than dumping the tank, it's just easy to seed it out. We have so much extra seed. Anyways, so we're just I'm just seeding it out, getting it right empty. And then, yeah, then we don't have to worry about it. And then if there's a tiny little bit out, then we can, when we clean out the drill, we'll just kind of thing. So, yeah. So that is wheat planting 2026 complete, or basically complete. So now we're gonna calibrate for our canola. We got to fill the drill with 30 canola bags. They each do 10 acres, so we're gonna fill with 30 bags to do 300 acres for now, as a starter anyways, and then fill with fertilizer and get going on that. Probably won't start that until tomorrow. It's about 6 now, so. But yeah, so I will let you guys go and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.